Hello and welcome to Live in the Zolki. In today's episode, we are talking with Kiche, ceremonialist, and teacher Apabyan about the days of the Maya calendar known as NAWALS. In today's episode, we are talking about the NAWAL TOH, as well as associated idioms and expressions in the Kiche language. We also talk about the conditions of pregnancy during the gestation of a person who has the NAWAL TOH. Check it out. Okay, the next NAWAL is TOH. Now, let me stop again with TOH because I always thought TOH was to pay for the other.
No, that's cat.
Okay.
TOH is also a payment, but this payment, the different. I'm going to say something that is very. That is a very intelligent question. If cat is the fire and TOH is also an expression of fire, which is the difference? Cat is to pay for the other, but TOH is also a payment, but in the sense of sacrifice. Which is the difference? TOH pays to be in dominion. TOH pays to be the ruler. That's why TOH is also the NAWAL energy that explains Ahawarem, the reign of the Lord. Because it's another way of in NAWAL cat, you are not the beneficiary, it's the other. In NAWAL TOH, your payment is a sacrifice, but you are the ruler. It will cost you everything, but it's yours. For example, every single payment that you did to the bank during years is NAWAL cat because the beneficiary is the other, and at the end you are paying 3 times the price of your house. The last payment, when you got the papers, is NAWAL TOH because all that sacrifice is yours, and now the house is yours. You are the ruler. So difference.
It's very interesting, yeah. How can I say? One is you're paying for the other, and the other is you're getting paid?
No, you're the beneficiary. Let's talk about that.
That's the difference. Is the beneficiary of cat is the other, and the beneficiary of TOH is you.
Is you as ruling, demanding. For example, being in a very let's say difficult situation of saving money and blah 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 blah. It's not cat because at the end that money, and you bought a car, but you have to sacrifice. It was painful. You get ill about that, but at the end it's your car. Cat defines the other when you have to raise a kid, and at the end he goes to Europe and marry over there and forget about you. That's cat. So it's about, but TOH is deeper in the sense of sacrifice because NAWAL TOH suffers.
Cat,
you got it at the end.
But cat does not suffer.
No, yeah, it's suffering, but not in that sense. So the difference is it could be just the word. TOH is a sacrifice, but the result is for you. It's painful, but it's for you. Cat is related to the other, to the benefit of other, and could be all obviously positive, as when you raise a kid and you send it you send the kid to university and everything. Well, he's going to be the direct beneficiary of that.
So let's I'll go through what it says here about TOH, what I can read. TOH, day in the sacred calendar, and a treasurer, a mam. What is a mam?
Mam is an elder grandfather or grandmother. An elder, a mam. No, a grandfather, a mam.
Okay, and it's different. It's different from the. There's a group of Mayan people. It's a language. It's called the Mam language. It's different from that?
Maybe. I don't know what you are really reading, but TOH is direct. TOH is the morpheme of the word pay. Toch means to pay. It's related to...
Toch mak, to pay. Toch, to pay something. Toch bal, price, interest. Toch,
yeah, that's it.
Toch bal mak, fine. Toch bal, is it? Kich?
Yeah, tohopal. Tohopal as payment. Tohonik as tax additional payment. Tohonik. When you have to pay more than what is expected, is also toch.
Tohik.
But it's your sacrifice.
How about tohik? Tohik. Tohik. To pray. Tohik. Toch abik. To conceive a child. Is that the same?
Yeah, it enters into classification to conceive a child because is the other part of the primordial or the primal fire is going to be you. Is your sacrifice also.
Okay.
Toch is sacrifice.
How about this? This is an interesting one. Toch och ik. To cascade down, water down a mountainside.
No.
Not.
No, does not apply. No.
Okay.
Tohonik.
I'll give you one more and then I'll stop. Toch och. To hiccup.
No.
Doesn't apply.
No, is the another word does not begins with toch, but is ahawarem, to have the domain, to rule over something. Another one is ka, that defines toch, that is bitterness, something that is bitter. Because sacrifice is not always like, oh, I'm going to sacrifice myself. Nah, you go through bitterness. And it's related to cacao, and cacao that is bitter, as in bitter chocolate, but at the same time, it was the coin, the payment, the seed that was a payment. Once again, payment, domain, sacrifice. Another conceptualization from being ruler in the Mayan world is that the ruler was a sacrifice. It was to offer blood. The ruler has a heavy responsibility, even in these modern times, in Mayan towns. To rule is not a privilege. It's a heavy burden. It's a sacrifice for the commonwealth. But in this case, the Mayan way, the rulers are having heavy responsibilities. Is bitterness.
I really like what you said about cocoa beans or cacao and bitterness, because that's something I've known toch a little bit over my life, and that's something I've encountered and had to deal with, is a bitter person. Yeah, and
well, nobody wants to be the sacrifice. Nobody wants to be. So NAWAL TOH people, all of them, the 13 variations from 1 to 13, they have bitterness all the time. They build or they hold bitterness.
They build and hold. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, because it's not funny to be the sacrifice. It's not funny to be the sacrifice payment for something. And
what the bitterness?
In the Mayan way?
Yeah.
NAWAL TOH people must, the direct one is to be a spiritual guide, to understand all the interlocking and the relationships of all the NAWALs, to understand and to balance everything. And the Mayan way is, the Mayan payments is based precisely in fire. Is done by fire. Is firing something.
Now,
for example,
go ahead.
For example, the ceremony is toch in the sense that you use fire, and is kat in the sense that is applied to get another purpose or something beyond, or is that this fire is going to be used for another purpose. What NAWAL TOH people does is to pay this fire instead of their own energy, because TOH people suffer so much in the body. They are all, mention any tough people and has something in the body. And that is that. It's like they are the payment. So paying fire and doing this stuff is like making an interchange in which their energy or their strength or their consciousness is not being taken anymore. It's given through the fire. That's the Mayan direct way.
I really like that. And, some of the Toch people who I've known over the years maybe would like that also. That's very interesting.
Oh, yes. Nobody wants to be ill just because.
Sure.
Or nobody likes to be the sacrifice lamb.
Lamb.
No, nobody wants to be the sacrifice lamb just because.
Right. No. So
just
hold on.
Because it was you.
This goes then back to the pregnancy, that the mother is bitter and there was a sacrifice that was made?
No, to make the connection, there are different ones, but the most, let's say, general conceptualization of what is happening during pregnancy moment is that that conditions during pregnancy changed dramatically for the mother, and the mother complains about being a bad moment to be pregnant. Mostly the father is not behaving correctly, or mostly on those times the father is producing pain in the mother, so the mother begins to complain or begins to even to feel sadness about the moment. The baby noticed that is kind of even sometimes regretting the pregnancy. The baby gets bitter since the beginning because the mother is not really happy. The mother is not happy with the situation. The mother is like, oh, poor baby, look what you have to face. Or she's not happy during pregnancy. That's the most easy way to say it. So, and it goes to some disorder in the father. And the mother is not quite well.
Okay, I could sort of see that. The mother then she has to finish the pregnancy, and it's a bit of a payment or sacrifice on her.
Aha, that's it.
I see.
That's it. The mother has to make the sacrifice.
That's beautiful.
But
wow.
The father is over, but the father is.
Good old dad.
Because there's also conditions in which the mother has to make the sacrifice, but the father is not in there, like Ahmak, for example. Sometimes Hunakpu, sometimes Anil is another one in which the mother has to make the sacrifice, but the father is not, so everything changes. Instead of being Anil, then it's Toch. It's behaving.
But in Kanil, the father is over there, but
no, in Anil the father is not, or can be over there, but it's not nasty. It's useless. In Toch, the father is over there, but he's mean, or he's not. He's
misbehaving.
Exactly. That's it. As not to make judgments.
Yeah. Generally speaking, misbehaving, and
exactly, misbehaving.
Well, thanks again for listening to Live in the Zolkeen. Special thanks to our sponsor, the Zolkeen Explorer app, which you can download for your iPhone at the App Store or for your Android phone at the Play Store. Also, special thanks to the Maya Kiche University, which you can check out in the link below. Don't forget to subscribe and support Live in the Zolkeen and the Maya Kiche University for more podcasts like this. Peace and love.